Quick show of hands. How many of you really send Ethereum transactions by your hands? Not just bought crypto on some exchange, but really send it from your wallet. Could you please raise hands so I understand better the audience? Okay. Not so many of you, so I need to use some analogies and metaphors during my presentations. We'll take it into account. Today, I would like to start with confession that I would say that I'm least cool guy in this room because a lot of you, as I saw during the days, do zero-knowledge protocols implementation. You push technology frontiers to the edge of modern technology. You do researches and really implement Ethereum protocols and improvements that no one in the world almost understand. But what I do, I just move stablecoins around from address A to address B and call it a day, right? But what I would like to say you, that when you do it millions times a month, you get some interesting statistics and details. So today's topic I would like to share with you is what's the data we got out of it, how the gas economy impacts companies like ours, and what we as a company who implement payment infrastructure can share with the community back. So I consider it pretty rare feedback loop that community also need to get from real businesses like we do around the world. So who we are? We payment infrastructure provider. We build systems, engineer them from scratch, and then our clients around the world use them. You probably don't even heard about such companies that are our clients, and probably they operate in countries you've never been to, but anyway, that's plenty of experience on the blockchain and Ethereum especially, and we have 11 years in production and operate across all the blockchains possible in the world you can even imagine. Arbitrum, Solana, Ripple, Tron, Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever you call is popular, available here. And that's a pretty huge company, about 150 engineers around the world. And just to get some statistics that we issued around 1 billion of addresses for our clients. So the platform actually allows you to pay in crypto for some services, for online goods, whatever. For sure, clients can implement something by themselves and connect to blockchain directly, but it's the same thing like building a post office to send a letter, so no one does that, and we give that service. The core problem I would like to tell you about this time, what I will be focusing on here is how the transaction flow works in our system and why it's important. Imagine yourself a restaurant with hundreds of tables on it, and you need to collect cash at the end of the day, put in a safe, simple, right? So you come to some table, get the money, come back to the back office and put it in a safe, okay? But imagine each time you need to get this, you have to pay some small toll, some very small amount of money, but on scale of millions and billions, it's real, actually huge, huge money. And that also, that clients need to pay for moving this transaction from deposit address to some master address where we consolidate our money. That problem keeps up our engineers at night. And a lot of optimization were done during these years to minimize this small toll. And we will see how it was done actually in our system, because that's our life on Ethereum. And the data may be very useful for the community. The journey consists of 5 chapters, 5 lessons and 5 our attempts to change the situation. Let's start. Chapter 1, the approval era. At this time, we were new to Ethereum, and we looked after how Binance and Kraken does pretty clever trick with approval mechanism, and that allows us to minimize our costs to move money from deposit address to master address. You see the data on the slides. And we discovered that at 4th deposit, actually on the same address, the math was in our favor. So winner is number 4. We choose our way with approval and call it a day. Yeah. And in 2018, that really worked because addresses were reused and people deposit many times to that. But then something happens. Users started worrying about privacy. KYC provider appeared, and address reuse started dropping to 3, to 2, and to 1. And average deposit address was used once and forgotten. And the lesson we took here, that when you optimize based on user behavior, it's actually not optimization, it's a bet. And we lost this bet. Unfortunately, that happens. Chapter 2, the new Ethereum improvement proposal landed, and it completely broke our economical model. Previously, the gas was pretty stable thing, and after that, Ethereum improvement fee became dynamic. So the base fee changed every 12 seconds, and you can't predict what it will be. So it jumped around. And even worse, that base fee that was included into block was burned at the end when the block is issued and not paid to anyone. What does it mean for us? We send some Ethereum number to deposit address and to pay for a gas. Before this Ethereum improvement, that Ethereum was spent completely. But after that, it was still reside on the deposit address as a dust. Some small amount of money we cannot collect cheaply. To make an analogy for that, again, regarding the restaurants, imagine that on each table there is €1 coin lying around, and to collect this €1 coin, you need to come and pay €2 in it. So it's economically senseless completely. That's our life with Ethereum since 2021. Chapter 3, some things about the options we didn't consider to implement in our system, because we eventually evaluated 4 approaches. Proxy, create 2 methods, gas tank. Maybe someone even remember what the gas tank is. The idea is pretty interesting. You buy gas when it's cheap and spend it when it's expensive. Yeah? But there were a lot of problems with that. And we rejected any of this approach, not because they are bad ideas, but because our core principle. In payments, we trust only native implementation of solutions, and all of these things were based on smart contract. Maybe someone from you remember the huge hack in Ethereum community in 2016, when some hacker found issue with smart contract and withdraw a lot of millions from DAO, DeFi finance organization. So we consider it not to use smart contracts, and that our one of the most important principle up for now, so 11 years already. If the most important Ethereum contract can be hacked, we cannot trust it, because Solidity code written by humans, and it costs a lot to audit it, to check it, and to support it So we decided not to go this way. Chapter 4. What happens next? Our business grew, and we also saw that reuse dropped again, collapsed to one deposit per address, as I said previously. So we went to basics, just legacy transfers, a bit expensive per one address, but reliable and easy. No surprises here, so we could plan our costs. We also added batch operations to group our withdrawals, but it's another story. I mostly focused right now on the deposits. All these changes were not actually solving the problem with payment for gas. And it was not the solution, just survival of how we were during these times. The last chapter in this journey is new EIP that was launched past year during the Spectra upgrade of Ethereum network. And the most important sentence in this talk would be that master address right now don't need to pays for operations on deposit address. You don't need to send Ethereum manually to deposit address. You don't collect dust on this deposit address. That's Ethereum upgrade completely changed the situation for us, and we still in investigation how to correctly apply it to our system. And initially, we made an issue on calculations and considered this manual transfer together with gas price. So that was error. And on the numbers you see that the more transactions you batch, the more savings you get. We can get up to 27% of savings using these Ethereum improvement proposals. And always zero dust, completely zero. As a side effect, positive side effect, we also do not lose control of addresses if master address was compromised by hackers, for example. So you can still control address and do with him whatever you want. Hackers has no controls over it. But as I said previously, we operate more than 20 blockchains, and we observe a lot of important differences for us, for businesses that provide payment services, payment platforms for our clients. And let me show you how some blockchains do this in comparison with Ethereum. Ripple, for example, has tax from the day one. Having tax in place, you don't need to move deposit funds from deposit to master addresses because you already know who sent you money. So routing works natively. Tron has energy, so you can rent energy and your cost become predictable and boring in a very good way for businesses, so you can plan your finance and don't need to play with jumping gas fee all the time. Solana has native fee delegation. It was also designed in this way, and another address pay you gas in this case. And that's the same, absolutely the same thing that Ethereum improvements that we saw on the previous slide introduced, but the only difference, Solana had it already from the launch. I'm not saying that Ethereum is worse here. I'm just saying that we have, as a businesses, different problems maybe not seen by community, like routing, like planning your cost for gas, for consolidations. And Ethereum is the best and will be the best distributed decentralized network, the most secure and widely adopted in the community. But I think the difference I show you here is fixable problem. So we can work together with community to address them. And here has come our wish list. Just 3 simple items here. To summarize, right? It would be great to have infrastructure level tax support because the data field already exists in Ethereum. We just need to add support in wallets and in infrastructure. Second, native multisig. As I said, right now, multisig exists only on smart contracts in Ethereum, but I always and my team prefer to use native solution because they more reliable, more robust, and it's guaranteed by protocol. So if you're working on some wallet, please add tech support in it. And for the community, our request is to work on native multisig approach. And third, predictable fee reservation. Again, a lot of businesses in the world need to plan their cost. They need to solve this issue completely and not rely on gas price on the network. Let businesses plan their cost, and it's also our request to protocol research. I started with some confession that I'm the least cool guy in this room because I'm moving stablecoins around. But I would like to consider you something that every Ethereum improvement you wrote, every protocol research you made, and every proof you create on Ethereum network will eventually reach real people through the companies like our platform. It may be some payment terminal in Warsaw. It may be some freelancer in Spain or merchant in Lagos or any other country. But please remember that your actions and your activities have impact on people's life around the world in crypto. And I see it like a bridge. On one side is Ethereum community, protocol developers, and another side of this bridge is companies that actually provide payment services in crypto for real world. And now I see this bridge has some cracks. So consolidation is expensive, dust accumulates, but it will change soon, I'm sure. And I would like to propose you to move together from different sides of this bridge to point each other and fix the issues that have impact on crypto adoption around the world. I'm pretty sure together we can fix this. And here's my ask. If you work with Ethereum improvements, talk to us. We will share some data with you that may help you to make better decisions. If you're building a wallet, come to us. We can also help you to understand what businesses and real world needs in payments. If you're some researcher, also come to us. We may share with you protection data that anonymize it for sure, that can help you to analyze better situation on scale. And we've been doing that for 11 years, as I said in the very beginning, but we've been doing this alone. And now I would like that we work together on some issues mentioned in this talk. So thank you. And if you have questions, please raise. Yeah, and one thing, if you send me a payment after this talk, please use tax in repo.